Hello, my name is Megan, and today I will be presenting to you my research proposal plan for my first psychology assignment. I will be focusing on the effect of group encouragement on intrinsic motivation in other individuals in the group. The most recent definition of intrinsic motivation, as defined by Ryan and Deci in 2000, is that it's the act of doing a task for the satisfaction rather than the reward or consequences associated with doing the task. Intrinsic motivation is important in our current society as it's a pushing force for us for our hobbies and other daily tasks that fill us with satisfaction, such as taking care of family or playing a sport. All the studies for this assessment have used scales to collect data from their participants, either on a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 7, but both of which go from strongly disagree to strongly agree. These scales have been used to collect data on what participants thought of their boss in terms of if they were ethical, inspiring, encouraging, and then also collected data on how they thought they felt at work in terms of their motivation and work ethics. This data can then be compared to when people thought they didn't have an inspiring leader or an ethical leader compared to when they did, and the type of motivational push they felt. It was found that the more ethical and inspiring they found those leaders, the more motivation they had to do work, and thus a positive increase ratio. The strength of all these studies was that they all considered age and gender when going into the research, and therefore can be applied to a wider audience as it applied to about an equal amount of male and females, as well as representing a large age range. However, a weakness was observed in these studies as the environment of people in the workspace were not included, and how their teammates affected their motivation to work as well. As such, a literature gap has been identified as the need to research the kind of environment and the effect that has on intrinsic motivation. More specifically, many people work in an environment as a team where they have to work with others to get the job done. Therefore, it is important to do research into how group encouragement also can impact intrinsic motivation, as knowing how a group affects somebody's work ethic is really important to helping a team know whether their team is suitable to get the job done or if changes need to be made. As such, this research will aim to examine how people work in groups that are encouraging and then groups that do not give that kind of encouragement and are instead more kept to themselves and just expected to do the work. This leads into the hypothesis that workers in groups who communicate with positive and encouraging words will see a boost to their motivation to complete the work for their own satisfaction, compared to people who work in groups with minimal and little encouragement will find that their motivation dips and will not want to do the task as much due to not having that encouragement from their peers. To conclude, looking into this research, there is a lot of research based on the relationship between leader and worker, but not worker and their colleagues. Therefore, the gap to be researched is how encouragement from a group may affect intrinsic motivation to help benefit workers in the workplace.